Hi guys, it's Dave in Real Life and welcome to this 2021 Royal Rumble review. What pay-per-view that was. Yeah, we're going to go straight into the first match of the evening, which was on the kickoff show. And that saw the current WWE Female Tag Team Champions, Charlotte Flair and Asuka, facing Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Yeah, this was meant to be on the main show, but was brought down to the kickoff show due to the fact of the Sasha Banks and Carmella match going on to the main card. Pretty solid match in all. Thought it had a good pace to it. Charlotte was starting to dominate the match, and then all of a sudden Ric Flair's music hit and Lacey Evans waltzed her way down to the ring, and yeah, it wasn't long before she would get involved, causing a distraction to Charlotte Flair, and eventually, teaming up with Ric Flair, she had an item, I think brass knuckles, knuckle duster. She hit Charlotte Flair with the woman's right while Charlotte was applying the figure four leg lock. Charlotte was clearly knocked out, allowing both Nia and Shayna to gain the victory and become your new WWE Female Tag Team Champions. Prediction wise, I got this wrong. I didn't really weigh in the Lacey Evans factor. Maybe I should have. It's a big boob from me, to be fair. Yeah, what a way to start your show, especially in the kickoff. This is like you're buying. This wasn't even on the pay-per-view itself, so you got treated to a major title change. In retrospect, it made sense, as obviously Charlotte is now going to be focused on getting revenge on Lacey Evans. I'm sure Asuka's got her hands full with Alexa Bliss over the next month or two. Yeah, so you can certainly see why why the tag titles had to change hands. We go on to the main show, the main card, the pay-per-view, and it opened with Drew, the WWE champion Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. Yeah, there were a lot of speculation going into this match that Goldberg might actually win. Kind of got a big thing where he comes back to the company and wins the major title pretty much straight away. Great for us, that didn't happen. What happened more at the start of the match, Drew took the early advantage by hitting a Claymore before the bell rung. This led to them kind of brawling outside. Goldberg hit a spear onto Drew, knocking him through the barricade, causing Drew to have like a rib injury. The match ended up back in the ring where the bell rang. Goldberg hit 2 spears and was close with 2 pinfalls. Goldberg then hit his patented jackhammer. Was close again, only getting a 2 count. Goldberg does not know what to do at this point. Drew finally gets his resolve and finds his way back into the match and hit the second Claymore of the match and got the 3 count and retains his WWE Championship. Pretty solid match. Didn't overrun. It didn't outstay its time limit. It was short, sweet, hard hitting. Everything you'd expect from a Goldberg fight. There was quite a lot of respect at the end. I do think Goldberg kind of took the full brunt of the Claymore kick because he looked a bit dazed and confused at the end of the match. It did lead to him showing support and love towards Drew McIntyre, who had retained. Yeah, there's quite a lot of respect at the end of this match. Real passing of the torch, if you will. Yeah, Drew now a legitimate champion. Not that he wasn't already, but to beat Goldberg, yeah, it's just a nice little tick on your record. So yeah, Drew retained. Yeah, I predicted that to be the same, so I finally got off on the predictions. We go on to Sasha Banks versus Carmella. Only added it on Friday night, so that wasn't a part of my prediction video. Did have an inkling that they might add this match, but it wasn't confirmed. Yeah, it was for the SmackDown Championship. Pretty much went the way as you'd expect it to. Pretty much a repeat of the match at TLC. Reginald getting heavily involved to the point where he was sent back to backstage by the referee. This allowed the interference allowed Carmella to get on top of Sasha. It even looked like there could be a possible title change in this one. But too much showboating Carmella, trash talking, not getting the job done, allowed Sasha Banks to recover enough to finally get the bank statement and a submission win to retain SmackDown Championship. It wasn't the best match on the show, to be honest, probably even the worst match on the show, to be fair. Looked like a filler, in all honesty. Sasha just looked the boss, as she always does. Carmella did come out okay in this. I think that this is finally done with now and they can move away from their mini feud. Maybe Carmella joins Bayley in their quest for the tag team championship. I don't know, but I think this has been put to rest now. We go on to the match that these like pay-per-views are all about, and it's the female rumble. Yeah, this was full of shocks, surprises, nice little storylines, what could be taken away. Bayley comes out as number one, followed by the returning Naomi. Naomi, feeling the glow, comes out at number two. Just to name some of the shocks, what came out in the Rumble. Obviously Naomi, Shotzi Blackheart, Jillian, Victoria, who I predicted in my prediction video to come out, Santana Garrett, nobody expected her to come out, Rhea Ripley, Tori Wilson, Mickie James, Dakota Kai, and Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox also had a little running story throughout this Rumble, as the only bit what I hated more than anything was the involvement of the 24/7 championship. Why R-Truth had to come down into this match is beyond me. But it did allow Alicia Fox to have a couple of minutes of being the 24/7 champion. Yeah, after becoming a champ and pinning R-Truth, she got eliminated. R-Truth would then regain the championship. He sadly would later lose that championship again to Peter Rosenberg. Don't know why that's a thing. Peter Rosenberg works on the Kickoff show. Not an active wrestler, so it won't be long before R-Truth gets that title back, let's put it that way. The first person to get eliminated from the female Rumble was Shotzi Blackheart. Rhea Ripley had the most eliminations with 7. But your winner of this year's Royal Rumble went to Bianca Belair. Yeah, she eliminated Bayley earlier on in the Rumble as well, which was botched because the camera just didn't focus in on it the way that it should have done. It should have been a way bigger deal than what it was. So yeah, I think WWE failed there. There was other moments like Charlotte Flair and Lacey finally locking horns. Then to 5 minutes later not fighting each other anymore and concentrating on other people, which made no sense. Also Alexa Bliss, I have to talk about this because it's so funny. She comes down to the ring, supporting new ring gear, which is like cross hybrid between her old ring gear and the playground Alexa gear. She comes down, she's happy, go lucky, jumping around the ring, giddy. She gets attacked several times. In fact, they all start beating up on her. Then you have the whole ring stuff happen, where she looks like she's going to transform. And okay, I'm not going to explain this. I'm going to leave a clip here of how Wrestling Days explained this situation. Enjoy.
Alexa jumping around. Alexa was jumping around, happy, and then out of nowhere, spear from Rhea Ripley. Big spear from Rhea Ripley. They should just work together, chuck her out. She's a problem. They've got to know that this woman can get possessed and she's a problem. And the screens go purple. She's in the middle of the ring. She's going on full-on spooky mode. Right, here we go. Spooky mode. Ripley! Ripley! Ripley eliminates Alexa! Ah! Rhea Ripley, you absolute queen! You absolute queen! Right, this channel is now I am now a Rhea Ripley stan account. Full on Rhea Ripley stan account. I'm going to change my name. I'm Rhea Ripley Days from now on. Oh my God.
Yeah, we now have a Rhea Ripley Days rather than Wrestling Days. Yeah, truly amazing reaction by Wrestling Days. Thank God there was no Fiend shenanigans in the female rumble. Yeah, but as I was saying, it did go down to the final two between Rhea Ripley, who had an astounding rumble, and Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair was the Iron Woman, outlasting Naomi. Obviously Naomi had started the rumble, at number 2. She lasted well over 40 minutes, but had to only be pipped by the number 3 entrant, Bianca Belair. The two locked horns as the final two. To be honest, you could see this as a future title match for sure, and it's just so promising for the female division in WWE. It's Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Our hearts were definitely in your mouth watching their tussle. Eventually, Bianca Belair wins by clotheslining Rhea Ripley over the top rope. I've got to say, if you ever want to show how real wrestling is, show the end of this match, because basically the passion what was shown by Bianca Belair was amazing. Tears rolling down her face. She cut an in-ring promo which were heartfelt, thanking her family. It was just such a touching moment, and this is why the supernatural shenanigans should not happen in Royal Rumble. This is what the Royal Rumble is about, giving new, fresh talent an opportunity to be in the main event at WrestleMania. So, well done, Bianca Belair. This solid performance. There is this clip from backstage, what I found on Twitter. Take a look. Yeah, you could see the emotion there between Bianca and her dad. Fantastic. I'm all in on this. Absolutely amazing. We can go away from the female Royal Rumble and go to the last man standing match for the Universal title. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. You've heard the saying, this is a slobber knocker from JR. Well, this was a slobber knocker. This had everything. in-ring action, outside ring action. They even used the Thunderdome to the full effect, diving off the what would look like the crowd onto a table. Yeah, they even went into the backstage area, which showed the stadium, which Tropicana Field looked amazing. There was a separate ring at the back, but they didn't use that. They used golf carts, which was like an homage to the AEW stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. They copied. Did they do it better? I've got to say, yeah. No, I think they did do it better. There was no comedy in this, unlike the Stadium Stampede in AEW, which was mainly for shits and giggles. This was actually looked legitimate. Fort Truck was then used for like Owens to do a swanton bomb off the top onto Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns was dead on his feet. He had no help in this. There was no Jey Uso this time. Kevin Owens looked like he battered him. They did go through gorilla position. Yeah, we didn't see Vince, unfortunately. They do go to the main stage ramp, and near the back, I think Kevin Owens goes through the entrance, like screens, which causes absolute chaos. Roman Reigns then finds some handcuffs, tries to handcuff Owens to some of the stanchions so that he'd stay down. It ended up being Roman what got handcuffed. And then the botch of botches, yeah, which really lowered this match in my opinion, is that they just couldn't find a way of releasing Roman Reigns from the handcuffs. The referee had to look like he was too busy seeing to Kevin Owens while this was going off. I mean, there was more than a 10 count, it was like nearly a 50 count by the time Heyman had finally freed Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns got free, put Kevin Owens into like a guillotine and choked him out to retain the Universal title. Just lots of high spots, lot of really interesting stuff between these guys. Kevin Owens, like I've said 1,000 times, looks like a pure main eventer. But how badass does Roman Reigns look? Other than the botch with the key, pretty solid match. You know, if you were rating matches, which I'm going to rate this one, I'd definitely give this a 4 out of 5, just because it just showed two guys what wanted to truly brutalise each other, which is what you want from your co-main event. So yeah, Roman Reigns retains. I did predict that, so that's a pretty good going. We now go on to the night's main event, which was the Men's Royal Rumble match. And so much is riding on the shock factor, the returns, that this, having the main event status, could possibly be something huge is going to happen. Speculation about The Fiend, I'm going to put it to bed right now. It never happened. Fiend never showed up. Thank God, because the match did not need it. This was a good Rumble match without that supernatural stuff. So we go on to who drew number 1 and number 2. That was Edge and Orton. We knew that from backstage from Saturday. Yeah, these two ripped into each other solid, breaking announce tables and whatnot. Orton ended up being injured and had to be out of the like arena, or at least ringside. Looked like he was legitimately out. End up with a spot where Edge was outnumbered by several heels after Jeff Hardy was the first one to get eliminated. Yeah, the Rumble saw some amazing shocks. It is the list of the people what like returned or made their debut in the Rumble. Carlito, which was heavily rumoured during the day to be definitely backstage at WWE. So he came down. We've got Damian Priest from NXT, rumoured to be called up to the main roster, so no surprises that he was in. But then, biggest shock, and I don't think anybody predicted this. Kane came down to the ring. Yeah, even picked up a couple of eliminations. Then we got the Hurricane. Then the shock of shocks, for me anyway, was Christian coming down, and just that emotion between him and Edge, the embrace in the middle of the ring, was just fantastic to see. Christian actually did well in the Rumble, lasted quite a long time. Edge, well, we'll get to Edge in a bit. Most eliminations in this year's Rumble, I think it was a tie. It could be completely wrong, but I have it as Big E and Damian Priest. I think they both got 4 eliminations, or maybe even 5 eliminations each. But let's get to the result. Iron Man and winner of your Royal Rumble was Edge. 2 times winner. I predicted him in my prediction video to go all the way. Did wobble a bit when I heard that it was not going to be like #1. So for the predictions game, I went with Daniel Bryan, which it wasn't. I forgot one return, which was Seth Rollins. Yeah, he was in the final 4. But the final 2 was how the show started, how the Rumble started, was Randy Orton. Looked like Edge had picked up the victory, only to be RKO'd out of nowhere by a returning Randy Orton. These two went at it for quite a while. Art was racing at the time, because, you know, you couldn't really tear these 2 people apart, to be honest. There was a thought process that this could lead to The Fiend bobbing in. But thank God that never happened, because this was Edge's night. This was his swan song. Don't know how long he's going to be in the WWE after this, but he's going to go out with a main event at WrestleMania, which is fantastic. He's a 2nd-time Royal Rumble winner as well. Don't think his business with Orton's finished. Do think there will probably be another match, maybe at Elimination Chamber or at Fastlane before Mania anyway. Yeah, honestly, from going from #1 to winning the Rumble on your return back from injury, I mean, good going. You can see the emotion in Edge as he points to the WrestleMania sign. Yeah, classic moment. Honestly, a classic Rumble. Is it the best Rumble I've ever seen? No, I think it's got a long way to go before beating 92, but some people will highly regard this one. So I'm going to go into the score of the pay-per-view, and I'm sticking with what I said on the night. It's going to be an 8.5. Well over average, entertaining from start to finish. Love the Rumble matches. You can ignore the botches, because to be honest, they were good. Very entertaining. So overly pleased for Bianca Belair. I know I went for Becky Lynch. I never explained this, to be honest. I went for Becky Lynch in my predictions. She never returned. I did pick Bianca Belair as my 2nd choice if she didn't come back. So yeah, technically I got it right, but I'm not claiming it. So Edge was the winner, who I predicted. I did pick Daniel Bryan as the 2nd. He was eliminated way before. So yeah, 8.5 definitely is my score for this Rumble. Can't wait for Raw. Join me for my live stream on Tuesday. It's ECW Hardcore Heaven 95. I don't know too much about it. I've never seen it myself, so look forward to that. keep keep an eye on your notifications for that one. But that's Tuesday night for ECW. For now, I've been Dave in real life. You've been awesome. And remember to always keep it real. Until the next time, Siddy.